Hi guys, and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. In this video, I'm going to give you an update on my baby Bettas. They are now a little over 2 months old, and if you already haven't, be sure to check out their 1 month old video as well as my Betta breeding playlist. So the baby Bettas are doing really well. They are growing quite fast and are very hungry all the time. They're eating about 2 to 3 times a day, one large meal of frozen food, sometimes mysis and brine shrimp, as well as other mixes. I also feed them beef heart as well, which they love to eat. They are also starting to eat flake food and some very small pellet food as well, and still get a little bit of live food such as Daphnia or baby brine shrimp. Having such a large variety of different foods is not only really healthy for their development, but also encourages more rapid growth. So they'll grow up and get bigger a lot faster. So depending on what you feed your fry, some fry will be smaller at 2 months old, so your batch can be smaller or your batch can be bigger. I've seen some breeders that had baby Bettas ready to be sold at 3 months old. Some sell them at 6 months, so it really depends on the water quality and what you feed your babies. One nifty thing that I noticed is that they are starting to show some of their splotchy marble koi patterns. As you can see, some of them are getting a little red, some have some pink, some have some black splotches. I have a few babies that probably will be blue, and a lot of babies are actually still turning white. What they would do is they first have that general stereotypical baby fry color, then they turn full white, and then once they turn full white, they start to get different colors. So the first color that usually appears is red on their body, and they start to develop different patterns. Now these patterns will continue to show up and develop over time, so we're going to see how they will turn out and how they will look, but it's kind of interesting to see them change so rapidly and quickly, and it's kind of exciting to see what they will look like as they grow up. I am seeing a wide variety of different colors, so that is always a lot of fun when you are breeding the marble Betta. Marble Bettas come in a very big variety of different splotchy colors, and they change. I will in the future make a video explaining what marble Bettas are, so be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on that. One interesting thing that I observed at the 2 month mark is that they are learning how to flare at each other. And what flaring means is they open up the gills to make themselves look a little intimidating and bigger, and they'll chase another baby or maybe do a little nip at each other. They don't really fight and they don't harass each other yet. They're just kind of learning how to interact with each other, how to be Bettas, and how to be really spunky and fierce. And they're just really starting to develop their personalities. I still can't distinguish their personalities apart from each other at the moment, because they still act in a very simple way. But hopefully, as I continue to make this series and observe them, we're going to start to see individual personalities develop. Since the babies' brains have been developing a little more, they're starting to figure certain things out, like where food comes from. Not entirely, but they have connected the dots that whenever I appear, food magically also appears. So while they don't really know what I am or what humans are, they do associate me with food and get really excited and congregate to one side of the tank every time I get near the tank. If I put my hand inside the tank, they actually all congregate around my hand and look for food and try to figure out what's going on, and they're very curious. The one downside is when I have to do water changes, they get super curious and very close, and I'm always really paranoid because I don't want to siphon them up by accident, so that is a little stressful. Now here I kind of sped up the footage so you can see when they're not eating and when they're full, they do spend a lot of time swimming and exploring the entire tank. So I think that while bettas can survive in smaller, cups or containers, they do enjoy swimming and exploring, and it seems to make them pretty happy, and it does stimulate their mind. While fish are not, of course, as intelligent as people or as dogs or as cats, for fish, they still have a basic amount of intelligence where, they can distinguish between things, they can figure out how to get food, they can figure out how to breed, they interact with each other. They remember things, they recognize certain things. So definitely providing your fish with a habitat that gives them space to explore and swim around and even exercise, while also giving them something interesting to interact with, in my opinion, is pretty important. Now, when these guys do start to get aggressive, before I sell them, there will be a short period of time where I will have to jar them. So I'll put them in small containers where I will do daily full water changes, so they don't suffer from toxic water conditions, and it will be temporary. And I think for breeders, it's definitely important to, be able to jar your bettas, because you can't really have individual tanks for 50 or even hundreds of baby fry. But at the same time, I also think it's important to encourage average owners to try to provide their betta fish with a tank if possible. But that in itself is another big topic that I can make a video on. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me, can I tell the genders of the baby bettas apart? And actually at the moment I still can't. It doesn't really matter yet, because baby bettas can actually change genders, so a male can become a female and a female can become a male when they are young. So at this point, there's no reason to try to figure it out, and they all kind of look very similar anyways. In a few months, hopefully maybe in a month or two, I will be able to start to tell the genders apart. It really depends on how quickly they start to develop. But overall, I think I'm very happy with how they are growing. They are doing well. They are really healthy and very active. And I haven't had any losses so far. So things are really looking up, and I'm pretty happy with the progress. The fun thing about making these update videos about the growth of the baby bettas is that I can actually see the difference in how much they grow. Because I see them every single day, and I do try to make sure to spend at least half an hour every single day just sitting in front of the tank so I can observe them to see how they're developing, how they're interacting with each other, and if they are all healthy. Because I see them so often, I don't really notice their growth or how much they change, because if you see something every single day, it looks the same, and the differences don't really stand out. I recently actually went back and looked at the 1-month-old update, and it was surprising to see how different they were back then to how they have grown now. So besides making this series for you guys, so you can enjoy watching the development and growth of some baby bettas, it is also pretty cool for me to be able to look back and really see the differences. It is also really nice that some of you guys have become interested in breeding your own bettas. It is definitely very rewarding and a very interesting experience to go through. The one downside, and yes, there is a downside to breeding bettas, is it does cost a lot of money to get a lot of really good quality food, all the equipment that you need, all the tank size and space you need to grow them out. And it does take a long time to take care of them with all the water changes and all the upkeep. So when people say it is expensive to breed bettas, it is pretty true. You can kind of try to cut costs by doing certain things, but either way, it is going to cost quite a bit. So do be prepared. My wallet has been very sad and has been crying ever since these babies were born, and I don't really expect to make much of selling them either. I'm kind of doing this more for the experience and the joy of fish breeding, but yep, definitely getting really poor over here. But these guys are so cute, and I want to give them the best and feed them the best that I can and take care of them in the best possible way, because I'm really getting attached to them. They're really adorable and they make me happy. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up so that I know I should make more. I'll see you on Friday.